So students, in this video we are going to discuss about DNA fingerprinting. So what is DNA fingerprinting and why it will be used in the laboratory and for what purpose it will be used and what is the technique which is involved in DNA fingerprinting. Each and everything will be discussed in this class today. So, coming to what is DNA fingerprinting, it is a laboratory technique used to establish a link between biological evidence and a suspect in a criminal investigation. So, what do you mean by this statement? So, basically, this DNA fingerprinting technology will be done in the laboratory, hence, it is called as a laboratory technique. So, why it will be used? It is mainly used to establish the link between biological evidence and a suspect in the criminal investigation. So, let us say there is a case like murder case. Okay, so in that murder case you are going to police people will going to catch a suspect, right? So you want to match that suspect to the evidence which you got. Okay, so to match it, or else the result either it may be positive or negative, but it should be matched. And if it get matched, then we can conclude that the suspect is the killer. And if it doesn't match, then we cannot conclude that the suspect is a murderer. We can conclude that he is innocent. Okay, so basically this is a laboratory technique which is mainly used to link between biological evidence and a suspect in the criminal investigation. Fine. So basically this DNA fingerprinting technology was firstly introduced, developed by Sir Alec Jeffreys in 1984. Okay, so basically, in order to move towards this DNA fingerprinting technology procedure, I wanted to explain you people about introduction of this DNA fingerprinting. It is very important to remember. Okay, so basically, in each and every kind of human being, there will be 100% of genome, right? There will be 100% of genome, and in this 100% of genome, 99.9% of genome will be similar in all humans. For you and for me, 99.9% of genome will be similar, whereas 0.1% of genome will be different in all the human beings. Okay, so 99.9% of genome from this 100% of genome will be same in all kind of humans, either in you, in me, or any other people. This 99.9% of genome will be similar, same, whereas 0.1% of genome will be different, okay, in all humans. So this 99.9% of DNA is called as bulk DNA, and this 0.1% of DNA is called as satellite DNA. So basically, to conclude, to perform this DNA fingerprinting technology, this satellite DNA is used rather than this bulk DNA, right? So what is this satellite DNA? Basically, this satellite DNA is, it contains repetitive DNA sequences. So what are these repetitive sequences? These are very important to remember. So these are the patterns of nucleic acids that occur in multiple copies throughout the genome. So rather than so before going into this, I hope you people know about basic knowledge about these nucleotides, right? I mean, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, uracil, all of these are called as nucleotides. So using these nucleotides there will be sequences. So in that sequences there will be repetitive sequences. I mean, multiple times, multiple copies will be repeated, and those sequences are called as repetitive sequences. So throughout the genome there will be presence of this multiple copies of the genome, multiple repeated nucleotide sequences, okay, throughout the genome, and those sequences are called as repetitive sequences. Okay, so coming to the satellite DNA, this satellite DNA, so basically this satellite DNA will be of two types. They are mini satellites and microsatellites. Okay, mini satellites and microsatellites. So if you keep these microsatellites aside, mini satellites are highly important to perform the technique of DNA fingerprinting. Okay, so these basically mini satellites will be used in the form of VNTRs. So what are these VNTRs? Variable number of tandem repeats. So here the name itself indicates you variable number of tandem repeats. The variable number of tandem repeats in the sense there will be a various number of nucleotide sequences which will be repeated. So for example, let's see, AGCT is a sequence. AGCT, adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. So this is a sequence, and once it get repeated, okay, variable number of times, right? Once it get repeated, then those sequences are called as variable number of tandem repeats. I mean, that particular region loci is called as variable number of tandem repeats. So these are these are used. Okay, so basically mini satellites will be used in the form of VNTRs. So what are VNTRs? So there will be a variable number of nucleotide sequences repeats, and those repeats, I mean that particular loci or that particular location or region is called as VNTRs. And basically these are radio labeled probes which will be used during the process of DNA fingerprinting. So till now, I hope you people understood, and now let us discuss about the protocol, I mean the procedure which is involved in this DNA fingerprinting technology. So now let us look step by step process of this DNA fingerprinting technology. So before this, I am going to take an example so that you people can easily understand. So here I am going to take two kind of persons, innocent person and murderer. So Akshay, he is an A individual. We concluded him as a individual, and Sandeep, he is B individual. And we know that Akshay is innocent and Sandeep is murderer. But police people doesn't know that Sandeep is a murderer. Just for our assumption, I have made Sandeep as murderer. So what this Sandeep has done? He killed a person. Okay, he killed a person by using knife. Okay, by using knife. Let us consider this knife as S. Okay, so Sandeep killed a person by using knife. Then what will happen? Then fingerprints of Sandeep will lay on this knife. Exactly, right? So now this knife is called as sample evidence. This knife, this sample evidence will be collected by policemen, and that policeman will send this knife to the laboratory in order to perform DNA fingerprinting. Okay, so listen properly. Akshay is an innocent guy. So why I have mentioned Akshay here? Because there will be a suspect which will be taken up by the policeman. So here the suspect will be Akshay. So now what they will do? They will take Akshay as they will take the genetic information of this Akshay. I mean the genome sample of this Akshay and the DNA sample of this Sandeep, and even they will also collect the DNA sample which is mainly present on the knife, because there will be fingerprints of Sandeep, right? But they doesn't know, policemen and the laboratory people doesn't know that whose fingerprint are present, either Akshay's or Sandeep. They doesn't know it, right? But they will collect the DNA sample from the knife. So the DNA sample which is collected from the knife will be indicated with S, and the DNA sample which is mainly collected from the Akshay will be indicated with A. In the same way, in a similar way, the DNA sample which is collected from the Sandeep will be denoted as B. And now here, one of the most important thing which you people have to remember is that, so once the DNA sample is collected from the knife, then it should undergo the process of PCR. And if you want to know more information about the PCR, the link will be provided in the description box. Please check out the link so that you people can understand what is meant by this PCR. Basically, PCR is a polymerase chain reaction process in such a way that, see, here the fingerprints are present on the knife. So only some amount of DNA sample will be present in our hands. Now what you are going to do? By using this PCR technique, you can convert that small amount of DNA into large amount of DNA, so that there will be much information which can be stored. The genetic information regarding this sample will be stored, and that will be done by using this polymerase chain reaction. Okay, so now I hope this case study has been clear for you. Now let us enter into the process, how the process will be done. Okay, fine. Now here we have two individuals, A individual as well as B individual. So now we are going to isolate the DNA sample from Akshay. This is the DNA sample from the Akshay, and this is the DNA sample from the Sandeep. Okay, so now what you're going to do is that, so there will be 23 pair of chromosomes in each and every kind of human being. Okay, so here I have drawn only first chromosome as well as the second chromosome. So basically the genetic information will be collected from all the chromosomes, but I can't draw all the chromosomes over here, which takes much time for me, right? So remember, the genetic information in a real life, genetic information will be collected from all the chromosomes, but I have drawn only two chromosomes for our better understanding and for the time consumption. Okay, coming to the first chromosome. So in this first chromosome, so I have said you right, in this, let us consider this as a satellite DNA. The satellite DNA consists of repetitive sequences. So each box which I have drawn is a repetitive sequence. So how many repetitive sequences are present over here? Count these boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So totally there will be 9 repetitive sequences only in the one one homologue of this chromosome. So this is one of the homologue, this is another homologue. So each chromosome contains two pairs of homologues. Sorry, one pair of homologues. I mean two homologues. Okay. So coming to the second homologue, 1, 2, 3. Three repetitive sequences is present in this homologue of chromosome 1. Coming to the second chromosome. In this chromosome, in the first homologue, there will be 4 repetitive sequences. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming to the second homologue, it contains only 2 repetitive sequences in this second chromosome of individual A sample. Now coming to the individual B sample, similarly, in the first homologue, in the individual B also we have taken only first and second chromosome. Okay. So in the individual B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 repetitive sequences are present on the first homologue of first chromosome. Coming to the second homologue of first chromosome, there contains only 1 repetitive sequence. So coming to the second chromosome, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are totally 6 repetitive sequences, and here there are totally 7 repetitive sequences which are mainly present in the second chromosome of the individual B sample. Fine. So this is the isolation of the genetic information which you have taken from Akshay as well as the Sandeep. Now what you are going to do? You are going to perform the gel electrophoresis technique. This is very much important to remember. So in the process of this DNA fingerprinting, what is the technique which you are going to use? Gel electrophoresis. Okay, so this might be asking in your examination, so please try to remember. So in DNA fingerprinting technology, what is the technique which will be used is called as gel electrophoresis. Now what you're going to do? So try to keep this aside. Okay, keep this aside. I will explain to you later. Firstly, focus on this both. So now what you're going to do is that you're going to take agarose gel plates. Okay, so this is an agarose gel and this is another agarose gel. You are going to take 2 because we have chosen 2 individuals, right? So now what you're going to do is that, see, now here what is the main purpose of the gel electrophoresis? Nothing but here the repetitive sequences will be separated based upon their size. So this is a first slide, of where you are going to add the DNA sample of individual A, and this is the second slide where you are going to add the DNA sample of individual B. And now here we have chosen 2 chromosomes. This will be your first chromosome and this will be your second chromosome. Similarly, it implies here also. So now what you're going to do is that you're going to add this DNA samples on this agarose gel plate, and now what will happen? Then based upon their size, it will be separated. So what are the size which I have mentioned here? 9, 3. The repetitive sequences which we have chosen are nothing but the size of the particular sequence, and that particular sequence will only be differentiated or else will get separated based upon their size. Based upon their size are nothing but, see, here 9, 3, 4, 2. In the similar way, here the nucleotide sequence whose size is 9 repetitive sequences will be settled over here, and whose size is 3 will be settled over here, whose size is 4 will be settled over here, and 2 which will be settled over here. Okay, similarly here B also 5, 1, 6, 7. So the nucleotide sequence which is whose size is 5 repetitive sequence will be settled over here, and 6 will be settled over here, and the 7 will be settled over here, and coming to 1 will be settled over here. Okay, so this is the individual sample of A and this will be the individual sample of B, right? A is nothing but Akshay. Who is B? Sandeep. Sandeep is a murderer and Akshay is innocent. This is very important to remember. Now what you're going to do, this is the sample of knife. See, we have took our DNA sample from the knife, right? And it undergo the process of polymerase chain reaction, and now we have the DNA sample of knife, and now you are going to do the performance again here. So now we are going to take another agarose gel plate, and again you are going to isolate it. Then what will happen? Then again it will get separated. Now here we concluded, we know that Sandeep is a murderer. Now what will happen? Again the knife, the evidence which we have collected from the knife will be similar to Sandeep itself, because Sandeep is a murderer, right? Then what will happen? Then all of these particular repetitive sequences will be settled same position of Sandeep itself, because Sandeep itself is a murderer, which will be related to the DNA sample which is mainly present on the knife, right? See here, the knife contains the fingerprints of Sandeep. So what will happen? The genetic information which is mainly present upon that knife will be similar to that of genetic information which is mainly present on the Sandeep, right? So the same positions will be settled over here when compared to that of Sandeep. Then only you can conclude that Sandeep is a murderer. So now what you're going to do is that you're going to place this radio label lobes in such a way that to identify the genetic information. And then what we are going to do, you are going to take a nitrocellulose paper. So what is this nitrocellulose paper? See, this nitrocellulose paper is nothing but you are going to place this agarose gel plate upon that nitrocellulose paper in an inverted manner. Then what will happen? Then all of these strands will get attached. I mean, all of these DNA strands will get attached upon the nitrocellulose paper. In the similar way, you are going to do for all of these three. Okay, you are going to place this agarose gel plate upon the nitrocellulose paper. Then this all of these DNA strands which has been separated will be attached to the nitrocellulose paper. Listen to my sentences properly. Okay, and now what will happen? And now that nitrocellulose paper will be examined. So how it will be examined? By using autoradiography technique. Okay, so once it get examined, then similarly it will look like this. So at the position of 7, 6, 5 and 1, and here similarly the DNA sample which is mainly collected from the knife, here also the positions will be 7, 6, 5, 1, right? Then if the both positions are same, then we can conclude that Sandeep is a murderer. And if the positions of A is similar to that of S, I mean the sample which we have collected, then we can conclude that Akshay is a murderer. But here Akshay is an innocent of our assumption, right? But here Sandeep is a murderer. Hence, the DNA sample of Sandeep and the DNA sample which is mainly present on the knife, both are matched. In this way, we can conclude the particular person, I mean the particular individual is a murderer or not, right? And once the genetic information will get matched, then totally the information will be theorized, and once it gets theorized, then it will be sent to the policeman such that they will identify that this is a murderer and he will be arrested, right? So this is how the DNA fingerprinting technology system works. I hope this concept will be clear for you, and if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and also press the bell icon for the latest updates. And also do like this video, and if you have any doubts regarding this topic, please comment in the comment section. I'm going to clarify doubts immediately. Thank you.